Last episode we got battered 5-0 by Spurs and our worst performance and result in a career mode so far that has left us in 14th place in the league with a -12 goal difference. And with new signing Quinton Timber not exactly hitting the ground running in the Premier League and De Ketelaere still fuming on the sidelines that he's not getting enough game time, I'm thinking that I might make some changes to my formation to see if I can get some better results out of my players. So with that in mind, I've decided to switch to a 4-3-3 holding formation, bringing in Dalot in a central defensive midfield role. I'm hoping by putting him in front of my two central defenders, he'll provide a much better shield than we currently have right now, and he'll help us stop shipping goals in the fashion that we are at the moment. And with him being there, it does allow the likes of Quinton Timber and James Ward-Prowse to try and push forward a little bit further. I'm going to change both of their attacking support runs to make sure they get forward far more than they currently are at the moment. And as you can see on the left-hand side, with Gineppo being the only real other man who's actually contributing to the scoring charts this season, he shifts out wide to the left-hand side, and Sulemana drops to the bench. Worryingly though, it's going to be Arsenal who are going to be the first team that we're going to be pitting this new formation against. An Arsenal team that are flying high in real life. Let's hope that we can put a stop to that here on FIFA. Gineppo on the left-hand side, his first real touch on the left-hand side so far in this career mode. He passes the ball to Ridvan Yilmaz, who's got space up ahead of him to try and find a cross. He does find a cross, and it's Jeremy Doku who comes in with the head. And I thought that was a golden opportunity to stick ourselves 1-0 up. We just don't take it. Asensio on the right-hand side for Arsenal took it down really nicely and played a wonderful ball into Gabby Jesus, who just got round the back of Salazar, but he does really well to recover. And now we can try and counter-attack once again. Onuachu to pick this ball up. Onuachu, the man who missed 2 penalties at the back end of last episode, and then goes and gives the ball away there. Asensio again for Arsenal. Into Fabio Vieira now. Vieira looking to play the ball ahead to Gabby Jesus. Does a good job into Odegaard, the danger man for Arsenal, and Bella Koch there, sticking in a really good challenge. My central defenders so far in this game, since this formation change, definitely seem to have far more confidence than they have done in previous games, as Jeremy Doku legs it down this right-hand side, looks for a ball in, and that is not the ball I wanted. Jorginho for Arsenal tries to flick a ball all the way over the top to Gabby Jesus. It's a great ball, and Bella Koch is there again. Timber, lovely pass into the path of Doku, and he can now try and stretch his legs down the right-hand side, looking to try and fire in a better ball than last time. It comes off of Tierney. It's a Southampton corner, our first of the game. And this is where we can be very, very dangerous with James Ward-Prowse's delivery into the box to the head of Salazar. And he gets his head all wrong, but Gineppo will win it back. James Ward-Prowse tried to go round the outside of Tomiyasu, but won the ball back off of him. Good stuff from James Ward-Prowse. Jeremy Doku off of Tierney again. It's another Southampton corner. We are piling the pressure on here late on in the first half. James Ward-Prowse again to take. It's a good ball. This time into Timber. Couldn't get his head on it. Can Gineppo? No, he can't. It's Diallo, the central defensive midfielder, in for really the first time so far in this career mode and this season in the Premier League. Salazar finds himself out wide on the left-hand side, just twisting and turning away from Tomiyasu. Lovely ball in, looking for Timber again, just can't get his head on it, but this is much better from us here. Much better. Diallo picks it up once again, looks for Ridvan Yilmaz. Yilmaz to strike straight against Saliba. Asensio into Fabio Vieira. Gabby Jesus with a lovely touch and turn. Odegaard to strike from distance. Straight into the arms of Bazunu. The first real time Arsenal have tested our goalkeeper as the referee blows for half-time. Odegaard again for Arsenal into Gabby Jesus. He's got a man free out wide on the left-hand side. And he does find him, but Bella Koch again, looking so much more confident here today. Wins that ball so well, and now Livramento can try and stretch his legs. Tried to play a ball into Onuachu, and it was a poor one. Asensio for Arsenal. Gabby Jesus into Fabio Vieira. Really nice touch and play here from Arsenal. Lovely play. Tomiyasu's free on the right-hand side. Whips a good ball in. It's Salazar this time with the diving header. Great defensive work between the two. Livramento into Timber. Timber looks for Jeremy Doku on the right-hand side. It's a wonderful ball to him. Jeremy Doku continues his run. Looks to check back into the path of Livramento. He tries to shift it onto his right. Can't find the right space. Jeremy Doku, though, back into the box looking for Onuachu. Picks it up again. Strikes with his left. And it's a good save. It's the best save of the game so far. And the first real chance that we've had to really test the goalkeeper, and we just can't make it count. Fabio Vieira on the left-hand side for Arsenal. This game is really turning into an end-to-end game here. Really stretched now as Tierney, now brings the ball down this left-hand side. Checks back in, looks for Jorginho. Nice play for Arsenal. We've got to be careful here as Bazunu is alert. and he saves well. Jeremy Doku again into Timber, who's been far more influential in this game, and he's just laid on a wonderful ball into Onuachu. Onuachu continues his run, and he sticks it in the back of the net with 73 minutes on the clock. And that is just what the doctor ordered. A fantastic piece of play. Timber, my new signing, finally stepping up to the plate, laying on a wonderful ball into Onuachu. And he could not miss from there. A fantastic finish, powered it past the goalkeeper. Leaves Adrian DG delighted. It's 1-0 Southampton. And a Kochup into Timber again, who's been, as I said, far more influential so far in this game. Jeremy Doku into James Ward-Prowse. Lovely footwork. Oh, that's sensational. Inches away from Jeremy Doku being able to reach that, but that is arguably the best passage of play so far from us in this game. Suleimana on as a substitute. Wonderful ball into the other substitute, Shea Adams, who picks it up. Turns really nicely. Strikes from distance and just drags his shot wide. Asensio picks this one up. Arsenal only have a couple of minutes left here to try and see if they can get an equaliser, and they're in a dangerous position. But Salazar again comes across, but it's not enough. Gabby Jesus! Oh, he puts it past the goalkeeper in the last minute of stoppage time, and I do not believe it. I thought we had wrapped up the 3 points. Arsenal have barely tested my goalkeeper all game, and right at the death, we've thrown it away. The Arsenal fans are delighted. I can't believe it. Well, it was lovely build-up play from Arsenal, but I thought my defender had done enough to win the ball. Clearly he hadn't. Left a gaping hole in the defence, which Gabby Jesus was only too keen to fill the gap. And he easily just placed it past the goalkeeper. It's a beautiful finish. And he levels it up for Arsenal here in the dying seconds of the game. And frustratingly, that is that. James Ward-Prowse can't believe it, neither can I. Unbelievable stuff here. Gabby Jesus snatches it at the end for Arsenal to rescue a point for them. I really thought a win would be a right shot in the arm for us, but unfortunately it just wasn't meant to be. Full time, 1-1. And whilst it wasn't necessarily the result that we wanted, I have to say I think this formation change has drastically improved us. Diallo coming in front of my back too has definitely given us more stability and definitely given my two centre-backs a lot more confidence. And speaking of confidence, I was 50-50 about whether or not I take Onuachu out of the starting 11, having missed 2 penalties in the last episode and really not being able to properly find his shooting boots. But having come straight back in and scored a brilliant goal against Arsenal, that will be a real shot in the arm for his confidence. And hopefully he can continue his positive goal-scoring form this episode. But he does return to his usual goal-scoring ways. 2 goals away from home against Brentford. Unfortunately, are still not enough for us to clinch 3 points. We end up drawing the game and we share a point each. A 2-1 win against Fulham though, courtesy of 2 goals from Jeremy Doku this time, gets us right back on track and gives us another much needed 3 points. And speaking of Quinton Timber, it seems like that early assist against Arsenal has really helped him try and up his form. He isn't setting the world alight with only an average rating of 6.3, but he is definitely on the up, and it's great to see him finally get his first goal in the Southampton shirt. +1 for his rating up to 76. Long may this positive form and momentum continue. And as for us, long may our form continue as well. We are now back up into 11th place in the table with only 7 games remaining, 38 points on the board. But having played an extra game to Leeds and with not having that many games left in the Premier League this season, I think getting into the top half might be a little bit of a stretch. However, with Chelsea up next at a wet and windy St Mary's Stadium, it is really time to now see how far we've progressed this season. Redvan Yilmaz into James Ward-Prowse. He's found a nice little pocket of space in midfield, but he's under a lot of pressure. Manages to escape, whips a good ball in, looking for Jeremy Doku. Lovely stuff. Livramento, the former Chelsea man, back into Jeremy Doku. He was inches away from finding Onuachu. He was putting pressure on Mendy in goal, but he just about managed to get it clear. Doku, though, back into Timber, into James Ward-Prowse, who strikes from distance. It's rebounded off the Chelsea defender. It's our first corner of the game. And of course, corners for us are always a dangerous point with James Ward-Prowse taking them. And he looked for Timber, but he was just shoved off the ball by the Chelsea defender. Diallo comes back, though. Gives it to James Ward-Prowse. He whips a good ball back in. Looking for Suleimana at the back post. Can't find him. He can find him this time. And it's Mendy who pulls off another wonderful save for Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez into Aubameyang up front. Mount now out to Cucurella out wide on the left-hand side. Good play from Chelsea. Trying to get away from the former Chelsea man, Livramento. Mason Mount back into Aubameyang. Lovely stuff. Bazunu is on hand to save a wonderful strike from Aubameyang. Livramento now going to try and feed the ball into Timber, who's trying to run past Koulibaly, put some pressure on him, and Jeremy Doku will pick the ball up and try and drive down the right-hand side. I'm looking for Onuachu in the box. Can I find him? Yes, I can. Oh, it's off the post. James Ward-Prowse is there. It's trickled into the back of the net. What on earth were the Chelsea defence doing? All over the shop, they just could not get the ball clear, and the pressure from James Ward-Prowse was too much, and he just about managed to bundle the ball ball home. Well, it was a wonderful cross from Dooku, who managed to find Onuachu. I thought the chance was gone when he blazed it against the post, but the pressure from James Ward-Prowse was just too much. The Chelsea defences, well, they were just all over the shop here, and somehow he's managed to bundle it home through the legs of the goalkeeper to give us a deserved 1-0 lead. James Ward-Prowse into Timber. We're just trying to try and strike a counter-attack, but it's well defended by Chelsea. And Modric now tried to go through the legs of Bella Kotchap. It's now Mason Mount. Lovely footwork. Bella Kotchap comes across though. And again, this man filled with confidence now makes a wonderful challenge. Aubameyang for Chelsea to try and launch a counter-attack here. He doesn't really have too many options ahead of him, but manages to find Vazquez on the right-hand side. No one from us putting a challenge in as Zakaria can bring the ball forward. Aubameyang now in acres of space to run into. It's a foot race between him and Bella Kotchap, and Bella Kotchap wins it. Manages to block him, but Ziyech now picks it up. Chelsea still have the ball. They're still dangerous. Modric trying to twist and turn inside my penalty area. And in the end, Chelsea just overplay it. Bella Kotchap can just try and dink this one away. He does, as the referee blows for half-time. Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea on the left-hand side. Lays a nice ball into Aubameyang. He's looking for options. Oh, wonderful touch from Mason Mount. And that is a really good chance from Chelsea. Lovely work from Mason Mount. He just couldn't apply the finish. Ridvan Yilmaz under a lot of pressure, but manages to skip away from Ziyech. It's James Ward-Prowse once again. Lays a nice pass into Suleimana, who's on the left-hand side in place of Gineppo. He drives into the edge of the Chelsea box. Whips a good ball in. Jeremy Doku was inches away. Just couldn't get his head right. It's been bouncing around like a pinball inside the Chelsea box. And we just cannot find a way to goal as Chelsea hack the ball clear. James Ward-Prowse to bring the ball forward. Both teams hunting for a goal here, either to get themselves level or to put the game to bed. And it's Enzo Fernandez now who brings it forward as Chelsea are looking the more likely to put the game to bed. But Diallo, that is what I brought him in for. Suleimana into Onuachu. Onuachu finds a lovely pass into James Ward-Prowse. This surely to make it 2-0. James Ward-Prowse, it's just about kept in. I thought that was going to be a goal and we wasted the opportunity. I'm really praying to the gods that that does not come back to bite us. Timber has it in acres of space to bring the ball forward. He looks for Livramento out wide on the right hand side. It's a lovely pass, lovely ball in, looking for James Ward-Prowse, can't find him. Ridvan Yilmaz again into James Ward-Prowse, who's really becoming influential here in this game. He's picked it up once again, just trying to skip past all the Chelsea defenders, can't. Finds the central defensive midfielder Diallo, who's been sensational so far in this game. Timber trying to skip away from Enzo Fernandez, does a really good job. Can't find anyone to pass the ball to. We're doing a really nice job. I just was about to say we're doing a really nice job of keeping the ball, but it doesn't matter because the referee blows the whistle. We did enough to scrape a 1-0 victory here at St Mary's against Chelsea, and that is a clear indication that Southampton Football Club are on the up. It finishes here, Southampton 1, Chelsea 0. Well, I spoke about the importance of James Ward-Prowse at the beginning of the season, and my word is he proving his worth so far. That goal against Chelsea only gives him his third Premier League goal so far this season, but with 8 assists to his name, it really has been a fantastic campaign for our captain, our leader, James Ward-Prowse. And in some transfer news, James Bree, our backup right back, who's pretty much not getting any game time with Livramento and Carl Walker-Peters in front of him, agrees personal terms with Hoffenheim, and he will be leaving the club in the summer transfer window for a fee of 3.6 million. And our other backup left back this time, Juan Larius, he is also out the door for just under £1 million to a team whose name I can't pronounce. It's back to the football though, and after the highs of beating Chelsea 1-0, we have been brought crashing back down to earth. Not being able to secure the 3 points against relegation rivals Nottingham Forest, we draw the game 1-1. A late goal from Sinisterra at Elm Road means we have to share the points, having gone 2-1 up courtesy of goals from Kalmadine Suleimana and Onuachu as it finishes 2-2. But Onuachu is well and truly back as he secures his first hat-trick of the season. What a time to do it. 3-1 away from home against Brighton, and that is a real shot in the arm heading into the final couple of games of the season. And our up and down season continues as Onuachu is on hand to snatch a late point again at home as we draw 1-1 with Leicester City. And so with only one game remaining in this Premier League campaign, here is how the table is looking. Obviously the top half is now well and truly out of reach, and as we've slipped down to 12th in the table, 2 points behind West Ham, we do have one last game to try and see if we can leapfrog them into 11th place. We've got Crystal Palace, a team that are fighting relegation in 18th place. West Ham have actually got to play Arsenal, so fingers crossed Arsenal can get a result against them and we can get a result against Crystal Palace. Suleimana on the left hand side looks for James Ward-Prowse in the middle of the park. James Ward-Prowse looks for a ball out wide to Dooku on the right hand side. It's been a good start so far for us inside the opening 5 minutes. Onuachu into Timber. Timber's going to try and lift it over. Gets blocked off. First corner of the game. James Ward-Prowse will, of course, take this corner. Whips in a good ball, looking for the header. Dooku. And that is just over the bar. Onuachu finds Yilmaz on the left-hand side. Yilmaz has got options ahead of him. Finds Sulemana. The run is blocked off by James Ward-Prowse, and Sulemana just strikes wide. That was a huge opportunity that goes begging. Yilmaz into James Ward-Prowse, who finds himself in an advanced position. I think he's loving this new formation change, as Onuachu is as well, as he finds Dooku. Dooku into the box. Timber's there. He is loving it as well. Quinton Timber gets on the score sheet and gives us a 1-0 lead here inside the opening 30 minutes. What a fantastic piece of build-up play that was. Well, it was James Ward-Prowse who found himself in an advanced position. Onuachu dropped deep, and Dooku unselfishly just played it into the path of Quinton Timber, and he just placed it into the back of the net. Adrian DG absolutely delighted. It's 1-0. Odegaard now for Crystal Palace, looking to strike back pretty quickly, and they have done with Fati, who's in. And my word, what a save. I thought for sure that was going to nestle in the back of the net, but Bazunu came out, made himself big, and Crystal Palace have a corner. It's going to be thrown into the box here. It's headed away by Livramento this time. Pressure on here as Southampton look to strike back pretty quickly, but it's Timber again who wins the ball back, and he can try and just dink this away. Lovely play from him, calm and composed, and we can get the ball away. Livramento now looks for Dooku on the right-hand side. Can we try and spring a counter-attack and get our second goal of the game? It's not a good enough ball in the box, and Crystal Palace can get it away. Jeremy Dooku into Onuachu. Onuachu finds Jeremy Dooku once again. This is a brilliant opportunity here. Jeremy Dooku surely to lay it across to Sulemana. Oh my word, how did he miss? James Ward-Prowse will take the resulting corner. Whips it into a good area. Onuachu off the end. Oh my word, off the line. And it's just volleyed wide in the end. Got that one all wrong. Odegaard for Palace. Out wide to AU on the right-hand side. Has he got the legs to go past Yilmaz? Doesn't. Instead decides to check back inside. Looks for Schlupp. Schlupp has got acres of space to drive into, and no one's putting a challenge in as he strikes from distance. Oh my goodness. That is sensational. With his left foot, he just loops it over the goalkeeper. Oh my word. We just gave him too much time. Look at the time he's got on the edge of the box. James Ward-Prowse, Timber just not closing him down. My central defender stood off, and that is what happens. Sensational finish from that man. And as you can see, it's 1-1. Livramento on the right-hand side to try and bring it forward. We've got to try and react quickly here, and it's Dooku again down the right-hand side. Does really nicely, puts a ball in, looking for Sulemana. He just can't get there ahead of the defender. Parisi who's picked it up. Oh, Ridvan Yilmaz with a beautiful challenge, and we can try and launch a counter-attack here. Onuachu into Jeremy Dooku. Lovely ball right over the top to the left-hand side to Ridvan Yilmaz, and he's got space to run into. He's done really nicely here. Yilmaz to try and play it across. Just into the goalkeeper's arms. Inches away from making it 2-1 there. Salazar into Jeremy Dooku. We've only got less than 10 minutes remaining in this game to try and see if we can get a winner here. Dooku into Timber. Timber looks for Onuachu. Lovely stuff. He turns. Onuachu strikes and drags his strike wide. Timber again with the ball. Gives it to Jeremy Dooku, who's been the danger man for us so far in this game. And Che Adams has picked it up. Oh my word. On for Onuachu. And almost with his first touch of the game, should have given us a 2-1 lead. That is a big opportunity missed. But we've just got to want it back there. Diallo doing what he's been brought back into the team to do. Che Adams trying to skip away. It's bundled into the penalty area. And Crystal Palace just about get the ball clear. Kyle Walker-Peters back into Timber. Timber trying to skip away from Sambila Congra. It was a good challenge. And now Crystal Palace can counter-attack here. It's Ansu Fati into Odegaard. We've got to make sure that if we're not going to win the game, we at least need to pick up a point here. Kyle Walker-Peters drops it down the line. The referee blows the whistle. And that is that. A draw is not what we wanted. And to be honest, not what I thought we deserved. We outplayed Crystal Palace from the moment the ball kicked off. But a silly mistake at the back, just giving Schlupp too much space, allowed him to score, and at full time it finishes 1-1. And with West Ham securing a point against Arsenal, it means they consolidate 11th place, and we come in 12th with 48 points. Well clear of the relegation zone with Palace, Brentford and Bournemouth all getting relegated to the Championship next season. But as we scroll up, you can see the most unlikely result you will likely ever see in a career mode. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club have won the Premier League, level on points with Liverpool, but with a better goal difference. They are crowned Premier League champions for the first time in their history. United are third, City are fourth, and Newcastle make up the final European spot. And whilst we failed to reach the round of 16 in the FA Cup, we have managed to secure a mid-table finish in the Premier League. So overall, at the end of season 1, the board are reasonably happy with our progress. Onuachu, of course, finishes our top goal scorer with a mighty 20 Premier League goals in 38 appearances. What a fantastic season for him, with Jeremy Doku, our new signing, chipping in with 9 goals and 9 assists in a fantastic campaign for him. He's got up by 5 points to 80. Absolutely sensational development, and at age 20, I think there is plenty more to come from him in this career mode. Gineppo chipped in with 7 goals and 6 assists, slightly less when I did change the formation, but for the good of the team, I think it was the best thing to do. And our main man, James Ward-Prowse, chipping in with 8 assists and 3 Premier League goals, 4 goals in all appearances for a decent campaign for him. And our other new signing, Kalmadine Suleiman, has gone up by 4 points to 78. He's chipped in with 4 goals in a decent opening start to life at Southampton for him. And finally, my other summer signing, Ridvan Yilmaz, only contributing with 1 goal and 1 assist in 37 appearances, but having got up by 4 points to 77, he has well and truly established himself as our number 1 left back at 22 years of age. I think there's plenty more to come from him in this career mode. The man that I'm really excited about, though, is this youngster Romeo Lavia at 19 years of age, having secured a loan move to Leeds in the January transfer window. He's got up by 5 points to 72, and now with our new formation change, we do have a spot for a central defensive midfielder, and I think he could be a massive and very important player for us heading into season 2. And whilst there has been a lot of development for the majority of my players in the squad, as you can see, there are still plenty of improvements we can make if we want to try and climb to the next level in season 2. And hopefully with a massive improvement to our transfer budget as well. Let me know down in the comments who you want to see playing for Southampton next season, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.